In 1891, the Nigerian Customs Service came into being and was saddled with the responsibility of revenue collection, accounting for revenue collected, and anti-smuggling activities. In 2023, Ahmed Ibrahim Ali, CFR, was the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service before handing over to CGC Adeniyi. In this interview with Seabed and Broadcast Communication TV crew, the Managing Director, KAPELO International Limited, Peter Topang, spoke on the past, present activities of the Nigerian Customs Service.
My name is Peter Topang, the Ngolong of Lagos, from Plateau State, representing Kanki and Panshin local government. I'm also the MD of KAPELO International Limited, and we're into maritime business, which we practice freight forwarding and dispatch agent in Nigeria within the seaports of Nigeria. Custom before and now and after. Yes, we know there are some things that have taken place before, which the main person as a Controller General of Custom, the past one, which he has a military background, and he was made to be the Controller General of Customs. I know he works very hard, but he cannot achieve all because he doesn't have the custom background. We found out that we went through a lot of things, that to an extent that many importers abandoned their containers in the ports. And for the period that he has been in power as the Controller General of Nigerian Customs, he has not done anything, and these boxes, that is the containers, are not Nigerian containers. And by that one, he has not been doing auctioning or doing condemnation. He allowed those things to perish there for quite a number of years. Instead of the normal auction that he used to do, he has not done that. And by allowing those containers to stay there for quite a number of years, I can say it almost through his duration for the past years that he came to power with his military background. And these boxes are not Nigerian boxes. And that one also contributed in building to Nigerian debt profile internationally, because demurrage is going on and they are charging, and all the terminals at the end of the day, they block these things, and even when they are concessioning the ports, they didn't make provision for government warehouse. It's only one government warehouse that we had in Ikorodu, and it cannot even accommodate all the containers that they have been seized or abandoned, according to laws. Because if container is being abandoned, the next thing is to do condemnation and do the appropriate things and let it be auctioned, so that people that they are not compliant, they will comply or they will feel it and they will not repeat, because I know some of these containers being abandoned is as a matter of non-compliance, and some people look at how the charges, because some of the problem we are facing in this country with the terminals operators, our charges are so exorbitant that sometimes clients or importers cannot even pay when they look at what is the content of their goods and what is inside the container and what they will pay to government. It's better for them to forfeit it. So you find out that there are a lot of abundant cargoes in the port. And now I believe, because
the appointment of Adeniyi as the CGC of Customs, stakeholders in the maritime industry applauded the federal government for getting it right for the very first time. Within 1 year in office, he was able to remodel the Nigerian Customs Service, which was previously killed by previous administration,
and do the appropriate things and let it be auctioned, so that people that they are not compliant, they will comply or they will feel it and they will not repeat, because I know some of these containers being abandoned is as a matter of non-compliance, and some people look at how the charges, because some of the problem we are facing in this country with the terminals operators, our charges are so exorbitant that sometimes clients or importers cannot even pay when they look at what is the content of their goods and what is inside the container and what they will pay to government. It's better for them to forfeit it. So you find out that there are a lot of abandoned cargoes in the port. And now I believe, because the present CG, the CGC, he has been my admirer for a very long time, because he knows what to do, because he has been the spokesperson of Nigerian Customs for a very long time. So now I think he's taking the right steps, bringing the technocrats, like officers, that they have the knowledge, and I can see with what is going on now, is taking what we used to see and know in customs to see that he put all these things in place. We quite appreciate him. We have seen a lot of changes in the Nigerian customs since he came to be in charge as a CGC of Nigerian Customs Service. So we believe that we will see a lot of changes, and also it's our prayer for God to guide him to know exactly that he got the right officers in place, that he will also work hard to see that they achieve all his plan. And also with the new introduction of the AEO, which is Authorized Economic Operators, we will now know, because this thing is only going to happen, and people that will enjoy this program or whatever is coming up is people that they are compliant. Because if you are not complying with the government laws, you cannot be able to key in as a economic operators, authorized economic operators in Nigeria. So that is carrying a big cargo that can enter. But now we have a natural seaport with a draft that we know a vessel carrying almost 60,000 metric tons or more can enter our port. So it's a very new development. And we can see how they structure that place. It's a modern port, and I believe that as time goes on, people will patronize that port more than Apapa.
Government have been advised to beam its searchlights on the various government agencies at the ports.
Agencies are there, but you know, Nigerian factor, as I told you, we have time for everything. But sometimes you find out that some of the agencies in the port, they are not complying, because the time they're supposed to be at work, you will never see them in the office. And time will come, they will close, and they make that one at the expense of importers and agents. Because if you program and say that, okay, you want to deliver or take delivery within so number of days, you cannot achieve it. Because somebody is somewhere sleeping, is not coming to work. And he cannot even say, okay, I'm not coming today, let somebody do this work for me, since he's not there. But you can, sometimes you find out that officer will just keep a document in his locker and lock it up there, and nobody can have access to him. And some of them know really that they are the releasing officers as customs. And if they are not there, nobody will do that job, because they have been given password that they will use to release the cargo. And sometimes, if they are having meetings, sometimes this one causes delay as well, because there's no anybody to cover their jobs. So all these things we know, they are trying to see that, yes, this operation is smooth, but at least you should have somebody to act on your behalf if you are not on seat.
What about the issue, lastly, sir? Terminal operators and shipping companies are equally not left out. They are equally accused of frustrating government agencies' effort in ease of doing business.
Sometimes, as a matter of labor strike or something, holidays, the terminal operators, they will tell you that they are not observing that and they cannot do it.
So Workers still pay those demurrage.
They'll pay those demurrage,
yes.
And before, we have what we call optional service, maybe during weekend.
Yes.
So if you want to work weekend during the areas of NPA, you will now book that you want to work on weekend. So, and if you are not ready to work on weekend, which is a public holiday, then they will now, you can now go, but nobody charges on weekends. But these terminal operators today, they charge every day. And one thing we talk about 24 hours operation. You see, you have 1, 2, 3 people. These are different agencies. We have the shipping company, we have the customs, and we have the terminal operators. These 3, they have to work hand in hand to achieve the 24 hours. Even if they cannot work, let it be that they can be doing shifting, even if it means that they will work, because there are some people that they are ready to work 24 hours. Even in the night, they are ready to work. Because if custom comes to work and the shipping line is not there, shipping line comes to work, the terminal operators are not on ground. The terminal operators will come to work, the customs are not there. So how do we now achieve the 24 hours operation? So we end up paying demurrage on weekend for what is being suitable for them, but we try to discourage these things. When you said, okay, before it was a government agency that was working this, now we have private operators. But the problem is that if the terminal operators are at work, what about other agencies if they are not there? They cannot function. Because I may need to write a TDO, which is terminal delivery order. The shipping company is not there. I would like to release with the customs during the weekend. The customs are not there. So how do we now achieve the 24 hours operation? It has always been the question that I'm asking. And it's left for government to see how this matter can be handled. Yes, the freight forwarders are ready to work 24 hours, but it can only be achieved if all the arms are on ground. If they are not on ground, it cannot happen. So that are some of the problems that we are facing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The 24 hours is on paper,
it's not feasible. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Nigerian Customs Service provides effective clearance of goods crossing the border, and they equally promote trade competitiveness. Joy Enamuna, CBET TV.